Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Chapter 25. Shri Shuka Uvacha Tasya Moola Deshe Trimshadhyojana Sahasrantara Aste Yavai Kala Bhagavatastamasi Samakyatananta Iti Satvatiya दृष्टुदृश्ययोः सङ्कर्षणमहामित्यभिमानलक्षणं यं सङ्कर्षणमित्याचक्षते. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said to Maharaja Parikshit, "My dear king, approximately 240,000 miles beneath the planet Patala lives another incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the expansion of Lord Vishnu, known as Lord Anantha or Lord Sankarshana. He is always in the transcendental position, but because he is worshipped by Lord Shiva, the deity of Tamoguna or darkness, he is sometimes called Tamasi. Lord Anantha is the predominating deity of the material mode of ignorance, as well as the false ego of all conditioned souls. When a conditioned living being thinks, I am the enjoyer and this world is meant to be enjoyed by me, this conception of life is dictated to him by Sankarshana. Thus, the mundane conditioned soul thinks himself the Supreme Lord. Yasyedam Kshitimandalam Bhagavatonantamurtehe Sahasra Shirasa Ekasminneva Shirshani Dhriyamanam Siddhartha Iva Lakshyate. Sukadeva Goswami continued, this great universe, situated on one of Lord Anantadeva's thousands of hoods, appears just like white mustard seed. It is infinitesimal compared to the hood of Lord Ananta. Yasya hava idam kale nopa sanjihirshato marsha virachita ruchira भ्रमद्भ्रुवोरन्तरेण सङ्कर्षणो नाम रुद्र एकादशव्यहस्रयक्षत्रि शिखम् एकादशव्यहस्त्रयक्षत्रिशिखं शूलमुत्तं भयन्नुध तिष्ठत. At the time of devastation, when Lord Anantadeva desires to destroy the entire creation, he becomes slightly angry. Then from between his two eyebrows appears three-eyed Rudra carrying a trident. This Rudra, who is known as Sankarshana, is the embodiment of 11 Rudras or incarnations of Lord Shiva. He appears in order to devastate the entire creation. Yasyangri Kamala Yuga Laruna Vishadhana Kamani Pandamandaleshvahita Hipatayaha Saha Sattvatar Pabhaurekanta Bhakti Yoge Nava Namantaha Svavadhanani Parispurat Kundala Prabhamandita Gandastalanyati Manoharani Pramudita manasaha khalu vilokayanti. The pink transparent toenails on the Lord's lotus feet are exactly like valuable gems polished to a mirror finish. When the unalloyed devotees and the leaders of the snakes offer their obeisances to Lord Sankarsana with great devotion, they become very joyful upon seeing their own beautiful faces reflected in his toenails. Their cheeks are decorated with glittering earrings, and the body of their faces is extremely pleasing to hear. यस्यैव हि नागराजकुमार्य आशिष आशासानाश्चार्वङ्गवलयविलसित विशद विपुलधवल सुभगरुचिर भुज रजतस्तम्भेष्वगुरुचन्दन कुङ्कुमपङ्कानुलेपे नावलिम्पमानास्तदभिर्तदभिमर्शनोन्मतितहृदयमकरध्वजा वेशरुचिर ललितस्मिन्तास्तद नुरागमधमुदितमदं विघूर्णितारुण करुणावलोकनयन वदनारविन्दं सव्रीडं किल विलोकयन्ति. Lord Anantha's arms are attractively long, beautifully decorated with bangles and completely spiritual. They are white and so they appear like silver columns. When the spiritual princesses of the serpent kings, hoping for the Lord's auspicious blessings, smear his arms with agaru pulp, sandalwood pulp, and kunkuma, the touch of his limbs awakens lusty desires within them. Understanding their minds, the Lord looks at the princesses with a merciful smile, and they become bashful, realizing that he knows his desires. Then they smile beautifully and look upon the Lord's lotus face, which is beautified by reddish eyes rolling slightly from intoxication and delighted by love for his devotees. स एव भगवानन्तोऽनन्तगुणार्णव आदिदेव उपसंहृतमर्षरोषवेगो लोकानां स्वतस्य आस्ते. Lord Sankarshana is the ocean of unlimited spiritual qualities, and thus he is known as Anantadeva. He is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the welfare of all living entities within this material world, he resides in his abode, restraining his anger and tolerance. Dhyayamana surasuro siddha gandharva vidyadhara muniganairanavara tamadhamudita vikruta vihvalalochanaha sulalita mukha rikamrutenapyayamanaha swaparshadha vibuddhayutapati naparimlanaragana vatulasikkamodamद्वासवेन माध्यन्मधुकरव्रातमधुरगीतश्रियं वैजयन्तीं स्वां वनमालां नीलवासा एककुण्डलो हलककुधि कृतसुभगसुन्दरभुजो भगवान् माहेन्द्रो वारणेन्द्र इव काञ्चनीं कक्षामुदारलीलो बिभर्ति. Sukadeva Goswami continued, the demigods, the demons, the Uragas, serpine demigods, the Siddhas, the Gandharvas, the Vidyadharas, and many highly elevated sages constantly offer prayers to the Lord. Because he is intoxicated, the Lord looks bewildered, and his eyes, appearing like flowers in full bloom, move to and fro. He pleases his personal associates, the heads of the demigods, by the sweet vibrations emanating from his mouth. Dressed in bluish garments and wearing a single earring, he holds a plough on his back with his two beautiful and well constructed hands. Appearing as white as the heavenly King Indra, he wears a golden belt around his waist and a Vaijayanti garland of ever fresh tulasi blossoms around his neck. Bees intoxicated by honey like fragrance of tulasi flowers hum very sweetly around the garland, which thus becomes more and more beautiful. In this way, the Lord enjoys his very magnanimous pastimes. स एष एव मनुश्रुतो ध्यायमानो मुमुक्षूणामनादिकालकर्मवासनाग्रथितम विद्यामयं हृदयग्रन्थिं सत्त्वरजस्तमोमयमन्तर्हृदयं गत आशु निर्भिनत्ति तस्यानुभावान् भगवान् स्वायम्भुवो नारदः सह तुम्बुरुणा सभायां ब्रह्मणः संश्लोकयामास. If persons who are very serious about being liberated from material life hear the glories of Anantha from the mouth of a spiritual master in the chain of a disciplic succession, and if they always meditate upon Sankarshana, the Lord enters the cores of their hearts, vanishes all the dirty contamination of the material modes of nature, and cuts to pieces the hard knot within the heart, which has been tied tightly since time immemorial by the desire to dominate material nature through fruitive activities. Narada Muni, the son of the Lord Brahma, always glorifies Anantadeva in his father's assembly. There he sings blissful verses of his own compositions, accompanied by his stringed instrument or a celestial singer known as Tumburu. उत्पत्तिस्तिलय उत्पत्तिस्थितिलय हेतवोऽस्य कल्पाः सत्त्वाद्या प्रकृतिगुणा यदीक्षया सन् यद्रूपं ध्रुवमकृतं यदेकमात्मन् नानाधात् कथमुखवेद तस्य वर्त्म. By his grace, the Supreme Personality of Godhead enables the modes of material nature to act as the cause of universal creation, maintenance, and destruction. The Supreme Soul is unlimited and beginningless, and although he is one, he is manifested himself in many forms. How can human society understand the ways of the Supreme? Murtim naf purukrupaya bhabarasatvam samshuddham sadasadidham vibhati yatra yallilam मृगपतिराधदेनवध्याम् आदातुं स्वजनमनां स्तुधारवीर्यः. The manifestation of subtle and gross matter exists within the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Out of causeless mercy towards his devotees, he exhibits various forms which are all transcendental. The Supreme Lord is most liberal, and he possesses all mystic power. To conquer the minds of his devotees and give pleasure to their hearts, he appears in different incarnations and manifests many pastimes. यन्नाम श्रुतमनुकीर्तयेदकस्मादातो वा यदि पतितः प्रलम्भनाद्वा हन्त्यः सपदि नृणामशेषमन्यं कं शेषाद्भगवत आश्रयेन् मुमुक्षुः. Even if he is distressed or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. Even if he chants the Lord's name jokingly or by chance, he and anyone who hears him are freed from all sins. Therefore, how can anyone seeking disentanglement from material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Sesha, or whom else should one take shelter? Of whom else should one take shelter? Murdhanyarpita manuvatsahasramurdhnyo bhugolam sagiri saritsamudrasatvam anantyadhanimita vikramasya brumnah ko viryanyadhigana yetsahasrajihvah. Because the Lord is unlimited, no one can estimate his power. This entire universe, filled with its many great mountains, rivers, oceans, trees, and living entities, is resting just like an atom on one of his many thousands of hoods. Is there anyone else with thousands of tongues who can describe his glories? Evam prabhavo bhagavanananto duranta viryorugunanubhavaha मूले रसाया स्थित आत्मतंत्रो यो लीलयाक्ष्मां स्थितये बिभर्ति. There is no end to the great and glorious qualities of the powerful Lord Anantha Deva. Indeed, his prowess is unlimited. Though self-sufficient, he himself is the support of everything. He resides beneath the lower planetary systems and easily sustains the entire universe. Eta hyeveha nrubhirupagantavya eta hyeveha nrubhirupagantavya gatayo yata karma vinirmita yatopadeshamanu varnitaha kaman kamayamanaihi. My dear king, as I heard of it from my spiritual master, I have fully described to you the creation of this material world according to the fruitive activities and desires of conditioned souls. Those conditioned souls who are full of material desires achieve various situations in different planetary systems, and in this way they live within this material creation. Yeta vartirhi Rajan pumsaha pravrittilakshणस्य dharmasya vipaka ghataya uchchavacha visadhrusha yata prashnam vyacharakye kimanyat katayama iti. My dear king, I have thus described how people generally act according to their different desires and as a result get different types of bodies in higher and lower planets. You inquired of these things from me, and I have explained to you whatever I have heard from authorities. What shall I speak of now? Thus ends the chapter entitled The Glories of Lord Anantha. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.